Get this party started.
That's weird as
Yeah, I appreciate y'all guys coming up. So we can help three people in. Nobody's coming. Let the party get started. Screw. PD's in. Trey Hodge, Lyle, Catfish, K&B's in. What's up, Samantha? Your wife's watching. You better stay straight. We had to show you all the goodies before he gets out of here, so he had to bring you back. Just a tip fishing. Appreciate everybody coming in tonight.
Credit card will be maxed out here.
Yes, Samantha, we're in the Lula log cabin up here tonight. John finally's in the house. Yeah. Well, we're going to start this off by saying God bless America and thank y'all for joining us tonight. We got some special guests in here. We got Richard Warskyle and Justin Lefford from Team Wampus Cat and Team Keeping It Real. We're going to talk a little bit about flatheads tonight and maybe a little bit about spawn. What's up, Jimmy Woodard? PD already. Oh, that's K&B aggravating him already. What's up, PD? Getting a crowd in here. All right, guys, hit them thumbs up. We got 11 people and got 2 thumbs up. You're going to have to help us out. I've learned that Mr. Melhorn's in the house. Ladies, there is a lady in the house, Mr. Melhorn. Oh, I appreciate y'all coming in. I hope you got some questions ready for these guys. These are some good flathead cat fishermen. And what road did I pick up these ugly guys at? Twerking Monkey. What's up, Pop? I think we got a pretty good bunch of guys in here. They know what they're doing most of the time. I don't think they've ever went out and sent me pictures of an empty boat anyway. I'll say that. If they did, they just didn't tell me they went fishing.
That's it. We don't tell.
You don't tell?
I don't
Shrimp.
We didn't catch anything. We didn't go fishing.
There you go.
I got one last night.
Who gets to talk next? Patriot, Real Fisherman, or Richard? Man, they already starting on you. No, that's K&B getting on it. What's up, Mark Dillon? I think you new to the house.
I'll deal with you later, KB.
What about the South Fork River fishing? Mark Dillon. Mark, I think you new to the feed. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. Big Nasty's in the house. So you want to answer that?
So South Fork on Lake Wiley right now. Fish can still be caught in South Fork right now, but for the most part, most of your blues, a majority of your blues they're spawned up right now. A lot of the fish that are being caught out of the South Fork, they're pretty beat up. So I take it probably wouldn't be, but it's about another 3 weeks. The bite should start getting a little bit better in the South Fork. Now, if you're looking for flatheads, South Fork is most definitely the place to go right now. Just because them blues are in there spawning don't mean them flatheads ain't chewing. So if you want to get on a flathead, South Fork wouldn't be a bad spot to go to.
What's up, Scotty Hill? Appreciate you coming in. Well, Justin just had a pretty good fishing trip. They went to Baden. You want to tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, we went to Baden last night. Put in the water about 8:30, I guess. Yeah, about 8:30 is when we got in. It was about 9,000 degrees. Water temperature was 87. Weren't pulling any water. By 10 o'clock, we had about a 2-pound channel and about a 4-pound blue in the boat. And we looked from 30 foot to 1 foot. I started out shallow fishing like I always do. And didn't catch anything. And at 5 a.m., they started pulling a little bit of water up in the river. And by 5:45, we had a 47 in the boat, a 30, and a bunch of 20s. We probably caught 20 fish in 2 hours The water temperature cooled down, I think 6 degrees, 4 degrees. Catch flatheads last night. I couldn't get on them, but blues turned on this morning.
What's up, Maurice, Scotty Hill, Kenny P? Let's see who else come in there. Top Tactics in the house. Yeah, we're gonna have to get Top Tactic in here one night and do a little carp talk. I finally got me some carp bait. Nana went up there the other day at the college. I told her to stop by and get me some carp bait, so I'm ready to put something out. Yep, from Charlie. And I figured right now while the spawn's on, why not put out a carp rod or two? Yeah. That's a good fight, and the world record buffalo come out of Wiley. So, and we know Mr. Manning told us about a bunch of 70s he's done pulled out of there.
Carp?
Yeah, wow. Buffalo.
I can see that.
Yeah, he said he knows of 4 over 70, and a bunch of 60s and 50s he's got out of there buffalo.
Like a 2x10 piece of lumber.
That's something else. Norman Davis, come on in. We got quite a few new people coming in. We appreciate y'all dropping in on us. All right, Richard, now this time of year, what are you going to basically look for if you're going to start chasing them flats and flatheads?
If I'm going out to try to target a flathead, I'm going to try to go. Now, a lot of people say I'm crazy and I'm losing my mind for this, but this is the way I fish. I look for areas where the blue cats are spawned up at the most. To me, that's where I have my best action in catching flatheads. As crazy as it sounds, but me and the wife went out Friday night actually trying to catch flatheads. We caught one flathead, and all the blues we caught were not dark, which means they weren't spawning yet. So that same night, a buddy of mine, Zach, he calls me and says that he was in the back of South Fork and every fish he caught was dark. The very next evening, I ran to the back of South Fork trying to catch flatheads, which I got skunked. But I typically try to target areas where I know a lot of blues are spawning at this time of year.
PD said, don't take your wife because she hooks them on. You don't get none of them, the flatheads.
She catches fish too.
Yeah, she's a fish catcher. Is she?
Yep.
Don't let's get out of her secret hole. Get out of my hole.
Norman said he got 3 carp last night, yellows. There you go, a good fight. Look at her. Now, she done put the muscle sign up to PD. Chunky Cat's in here. Catfish Bill, what's up?
Babe, that ain't no competition for you.
Yeah, he want to know when you're going to start using real bait to eel.
I ain't messing with no eel. Not fishing with eel. I just recently started fishing with brim more regularly. I've tried brim for years and could not catch a fish on brim. The wife's in here, she'll tell you we could not catch anything on brim. And me and Justin fished a tournament a few weeks ago, and he had some brim, and a buddy of mine gave me some brim. And I was like, I don't feel too confident in this. And the majority of the fish we caught that night came on brim, didn't it? Like, I was very surprised. Yeah. So
I've been telling him that brim works. And
you said that was the first time. One fish was the first fish you ever caught off brim.
Yeah. I've never caught fish off brim.
Oh, Tiger Muskie's in the house. What's going on, guy? Appreciate you joining us tonight. And I think each bait's got their seasons. I'm sure if a cat comes across it, he's going to eat it.
Oh, yeah. Like when the brim start nesting up toward the banks, that's a good time to chase flatheads, too. Like a lot of bank fishermen get out there and they'll try to throw the rod as far as they can to get away from that bank. That's not the best idea this time of year.
It picks it right off the daggum
bank. Yeah. When I'm on my boat, I'm literally throwing my baits 3 to 4 foot off the bank.
Yeah, that's where we were at last night, throwing towards. We were on the cut in the river channel, but we were throwing towards the bank on the rocks on the drop.
So they was on rocks last night.
Yeah, and I had one pull down on a big white perch, but every fish we caught come off cut gizzard check. I had crappie, brim, white perch. I had a couple largemouth. Everything we caught come off gizzard check. We just switched totally over to gizzard check.
We have a boat and throw back to the bank. Well, that's because everybody was running out of places to buy. Jim Catman Clark. I believe you was the one that asked about that last week. But yeah, guys, that you do bait, ones that bait fish in here, we got quite a few. This time of year, I'm gonna say if there's a bait fish that's spawning, bass, crappie, if it's got scales, it's bait to me. So when they're running the banks, it probably pays to use that as bait and fish off the banks. If you're on a boat, throw to the bank. If you're on the bank, don't throw out in the middle of the water. I would say that's a safe bet, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, this time of year, me myself, I like to switch baits up a lot because there's a lot going on this time of year. You got your perch, they start spawning, and then your shad come in right after them, and they start spawning. Then you got your brim and stuff like that. So when your perch get up into these shallow waters and they start spawning, I switch gears and I start fishing with perch because I know them catfish. I feel like them catfish are going to be running up in them shallow waters trying to target them easy perch. Then when the shad start running up and they start getting ready to spawn, I switch to shad and I'll fish with shad till I feel like that's about till they start scattering out. Once they start scattering out, then you know they're coming out of spawn.
And then you
Same
got
thing with brim and
largemouth and
largemouth bass
and crappie.
and crappie. Yep,
So-
like crappie when they were spawning a while back, we was in tournaments. Just we was using straight crappie. I mean, that's all we was using was crappie.
And following where they were spawning
And-
back creeks and catching.
This last tournament, yeah, we did have some brim, but our go-to bait was shad. We had plenty of shad because of the shad spawning.
All right, T-Med, I'll do that. Dustin Smith, how's the fishing been on Wiley? I think I might head up that way Saturday night.
Well, a lot of people saying that the bite's been really slow, but the last 2 times I've went, the bite's been pretty good for me, but it's been smaller fish. There's not been no bigger fish. I think Friday night, me and the wife caught a flathead that was probably around 25, 30 pounds. But the rest of them, they were probably 17 and under. Same thing Saturday. I went out Saturday evening. Biggest one I caught was probably around 20 pounds. Rest of them were smaller. So I guess it's hit and miss in whatever area you get. If you fish the lower end, you'll probably have a better chance of catching fish versus fishing the upper end right now.
Glenn wants to know, do you think they're still in the shallow waters with the heat of this heat wave going on? You caught fish deep.
Yeah, all our fish come out of 21 to 26 foot last night. I fished from 1 foot to 40 foot and everything. But now we were fishing the river channel, what I call the river channel.
Right.
You know,
That's a tricky question because when these catfish are spawning, if they're spawning in a foot of water or if they're spawning in 8 feet of water, usually once they get on that nest, they don't leave. So that's a tough call.
now where we
I
caught
would probably say the better bite would be deeper right now.
Yeah. Now where we caught them, there was like a little transition area, like in a creek mouth, and coming off that channel, there was a flat. And I don't know if they were coming off that flat, running in up that creek, that river channel, or what. But we couldn't get a bite in shallow water. Just couldn't do it.
Now, you went up and checked the nesting areas that you found last year, right?
Me and Richard found some beds in that tournament, and I went all over that cove and never. I mean, I found the beds, but never marked fish.
How deep are them beds?
21 foot. They were pretty deep beds.
So, you know, who knows? Really, do the catfish spawn shallow or do they spawn deep? I mean, Dieter found some on Lake Wiley that was, he never told how deep it was, but from his graph, it looked pretty deep.
Yeah, we found those
That's
beds
a tough
around a
question.
bunch of timber, but you know, it was shallow right beside of it off that
Right.
point. So
Tell me that the bite has been off for about a week or so on Sinclair. Dustin said he's headed down towards Little Allison.
That's not a bad idea.
Right. Glenn, early morning, late afternoons. Yeah, because that's when yours started really hitting. You got a couple that late afternoon, then the rest of it was early morning.
5 a.m. to 7:30 this morning.
But all yours really depended on water flow,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that lake's so current driven. If they're not pulling current, you about pack it up and go home. Honestly.
So baiting's a little bit different than Wiley. Wiley ain't so much current driven, even though current can help you. Them fish, I don't think is quite as current driven. You think, unless you run slam up to the river section.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking to go to Lake Wiley right now, and you're looking for a decent bite, I mean, the bite's going to be tough. But if you're looking for catch some fish, from what I would think, the best bite right now would probably be from around 7:30 to about 9:30 in the evening.
Let's see.
All our fish
Off
last
of points.
our
Right.
bigger fish last night came off straight Carolina rigs, no peg floats either.
Really?
Because I had fake demon dragons and
Right.
peg floats, and the big fish come off just short leadered Carolina rigs. Now I think probably 14-inch.
Let's see. Let's see. Somebody want to know, OKB want to know, Justin, if you got over losing that big one.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
just fishing.
Yeah, Gavin catching his PB got me.
Oh, he's
over there
talking-
quick.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about Tillery.
Yeah,
Yeah, when y'all was on Tillery.
That
Yeah.
was a big fish.
yeah. That's
Like, that was a good fish.
I couldn't turn it.
Dude, we pulled anchors. Boat was all twisted up. All the
Yeah.
lines. Justin's like, the lines are twisted. I was like, ain't worried about them lines. We need this fish.
Yeah, we need that fish.
We'd have won the tournament if we'd got that fish in the boat.
That was a good fish.
Let's see. And Mr. Gadget said a lot of it depends on the lake with water movement and temperature. It does.
Yep.
That's
That's a big
Yeah.
role play of it right there.
What's up, Passion? Hadn't seen you in here in a while. Twin Cities Outdoors. Welcome. Come on in. We got two guys in here that are good flathead fishermen. So if you got any questions about flathead, we can answer them for our lakes that we know. Different lakes, or it takes a little different techniques, but most of them, from what I understand across the country, are really
Similar.
structure oriented type fish. How deep are the perch right now? I want to drag around some perch fillets.
On Wiley, I guess Dustin's asking about Wiley. On Wiley,
Yeah.
the perch are just now starting to school back up, coming off their spawn. So if I was to go out looking for perch right now, I would probably be looking out toward the main channel somewhere right now.
That's where they were at last night.
Yeah, I'd be
This
looking.
morning,
That's where I would be
on bait.
looking.
I saw a boat this morning, 6 a.m. in the middle of the river section, fishing with floats, about 6 foot deep, and they were wearing the perch out.
Really?
Yeah, 30 foot of water.
But catching them 6 foot down.
Yeah, on slip bobber, big perch.
No doubt.
Yeah, right below the train truss. Looked weird.
There you go, guys. So, just a lot of times we bump into bottoms grabbing them perch with sabiki rigs or 2-hook rigs. And these guys they seen somebody catching them 6 foot down in 30 foot of water.
They were fishing on top of the old trestle structure. So
Right.
that probably had something to do. I'm not.
That might have drove them up a little bit, you think, in the
I'm
water.
not the perch man.
No, me
Perch
either.
man. I didn't believe they existed till last year.
Yeah, we in a heat wave, and KB said they're not moving no water down there where he's at. Let's see. Guys, I'm sorry if I missed a question. Let's see.
Dustin had a question. Well, I mean, he was talking about perch down there at Santee. He caught them good one day, and then it wasn't there the next day. That's probably the way it's going to be. They're moving a lot right now. If you can find them, you can fill your boat up with them.
Appreciate that, Kenny P.
I always catch them right in front of Harry saying to you out there at them buoys.
Hudson said we caught them good one day tonight on Santee, but we found they wouldn't touch a worm. Now that's weird. I guess you was using minnows.
That's what those guys were using this morning. Minutes.
Dieter, you missed all kind of good stuff. You should have been hanging out with us. We was talking about you.
We even give away some of your holes.
Yeah, you done give your GPS coordinates out. I figured old Jeff Manning to be in here tonight. I mean, and I said this before, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I know catfish are very optimistic eaters. I think, but at the same time, I think they will feed on what's most available. When I say most available, fish are like humans. If they can get an easy meal, they're going to get it. So if it's spawning, that's the bait I'm using.
Match that.
Mash the hatch. I've heard that for years from trout fishermen.
Yeah.
They'll throw some bugs that ain't much bigger than the daggum line they tying them on.
Yeah.
And then some they throw the big ones, and it
Yeah.
depends on what size. And I've seen that when I used to white bass fish. What's that?
Dieter.
What is that?
He said, somebody said Richard rolled his eyes when my name was mentioned.
Yeah. Richard saying that he was the best fisherman on Wiley. Your thoughts? That's KB. Let's see. I'm trying to miss it. They cut the current and the canal down and made them scatter. Yeah, you in that canal, you're exactly right. You can do good when they pull the water in that canal, but if they shut it down, it's just
Go to the house.
go to the house. That's exactly right.
I might catch a gar or both in.
Yeah.
No current. Go to the house.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, see, Big Nasty like him gar though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He caught a pretty decent one the other day. I think Wampus Cat could take Richard on the V. Oh,
What is that? Who?
K&B. Dieter. I think Wampus could take Richard on one V, one out on Wiley. Your thoughts? That went over my head. I don't understand what he's talking about.
I ain't know nothing on Wiley.
Justin Fishing Fetish, appreciate you coming in. Ryan's in here. I meant to holler at you a little while ago, Ryan. Sorry about that. What's the best way to use eel? That's Justin Fishing Fetish coming at you. They gonna give you a hard time, you know.
I have one. Let's play a little game here.
Okay.
Best angler. Hey, my name is, and I can't catch a fish over 10 pounds.
Oh no.
I'm also working on rebuilding a boat.
Woo. Oh, y'all gonna start slinging dirt, are you? Petey wants to know if you kiss them meals before you hook them. I'm gonna tell you though, I have caught some big eels up in the Seven Oaks back there where there's the old Ty Caro place back here fishing off the bank. We caught so many eels back there one night. This old guy took every one of them. He said he eats them. Said he'd skin them. Said he'd set and skinned that one like a catfish. He cut it off, grabbed the hold of the head, and grabbed the hold of the skin with a terry cloth towel. And he just pulled it right off, said, there ain't no bone in it. Ain't nothing but white meat. I said, that's too much looking like a snake. He said, that's better than catfish. I said, well, I'll take your word for it.
How'd he deal for it? Eat a gar.
I heard people love that gar, though.
How you clean it? The saw's on the gar?
Yeah. That's the toughest cotton picking thing I ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
Talking about the white perch, Dustin, we caught some blues and decent flatheads shallow Saturday night on the lower lake. On lower Wiley, leave them in the water. I hear you, Samantha.
He gonna ship you some of them things. You're gonna open up
Sooner or later.
You're gonna have a box full of eels. You got his address?
How long can a flathead live, guys? I think a lot of that's got to depend on waters too.
I'm not 100% on that question, but I've heard people say 50, 60 years. I don't see that. I think if a flathead gets 30, 35, I think if a flathead gets 30 years, he's doing good.
Yeah.
Like I really do. I mean, 25, 30 years, I think.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I've heard people say longer, but
And I've heard people say not as long.
Yeah, I've heard people say not as long.
10 to 12 years, maybe 15 at the most. But, you know, Jeff was talking about them blues, you know, they estimated it was 12 to 15 years and already hitting this size, and then caught some that wasn't but 15 to 20 pounds the same age.
Yep.
So I think weight is really kind of relevant as the DNA of the fish.
Yeah.
When
we were at Santee 2 years ago, I was down there when they weighed in at 113, the state director. We watched her bring it in, and those bile just did something with the jawbone. Looked at it, And that thing weighed 113 pounds, and they estimated it between 30 and 35 years old.
Okay.
And that guy told me, he said, you catch a 50 pounder, be the same age. He said it's all genetics.
Right.
And I think it's got a lot to do with habitat.
Right. Charlene's in the house. Appreciate you coming in, lady. We got 2 ladies in the house tonight.
25, 28, I agree with
25 to 28 years.
that. I agree with that.
Yeah. Never seen one past the age of 25. I hear you, Dieter. Appreciate the info on that. Come on in the house, Big D. Appreciate you coming in. You know, you hear people talk about them old catfish been in there 100 years, big as Volkswagens. Yeah, it's
At the bottom of the dam.
But who knows? Them fish might have done been hooked 100 times. They swimming around, look like one of these guys and gals has got 15 daggum piercings in their lips and stuff, but all the hooks down there, nobody can move them. I mean, I'm like you. I think they don't live as long as people really think they do. But I know up north in the colder waters, them fish grow a lot slower. They say that something about the cold water slows their growth rate a lot compared to down here. But I guess during the winter and stuff like that, our fish are still more active. We catch flathead year round down here.
Yeah, they get tougher in the wintertime.
Right.
You can still catch them in the wintertime.
Right. Let's see. Mr. Gadget. Mr. Gadget said they usually cussing him out when he's pulling them in. Maurice. It dies. Never got one to answer the question when I asked. It said it can live to the point it dies. I never got one to give me an answer. Oh, okay. Answer that question. That about went over my head. You heard
Jeff
him.
Man can get him to answer. He knows which one's a man and a woman fish by the way they talk.
Yeah, I see that on his video. That was a funny video. Yeah. When adding Kool-Aid to your bait, do you use cherry or any other flavors? I don't use any kind of flavored baits, and I don't think these guys do either.
I don't use any kind of spray scents,
All
stink
natural.
baits. Everything I catch comes out of the lake that I'm fishing.
Right. Now, if you're chasing channel cats and smaller cat blues, by all means, that stink bait, chicken liver, shrimp, worms, and stuff like that, if you want to go out and put fish in the boat, by all means, them baits do work good. We've been fishermen long enough that we through with the dinks. We head hunters.
I don't know. Me and the wife, we like to go out there and catch a bunch of perch and cut perch fillets into real small pieces.
Right. But you're
And-
still using that bait because the opportunity of that big one.
Well, we be going after channel cats. It's like a game. We go out there and see how many channel cats we can put in the boat in a 4-hour fishing trip.
Okay.
And that's fun when you go out there and
Yeah.
you catch 20, 25 channel cats 4 hours. That's really fun.
Do you leave your big rods at home?
Well, all I got is my big rods.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Dad used to like to use stink bait on them sponges. Go out with the Zebcos and load the boat with them old channels, put out soured wheat.
Yeah, we use that old blood bait Catfish Charlie.
Yeah, that's what he'd like.
Use
to
a little
do.
bitty old treble hook. You'd roll a little old ball of it up. It'd stink. We went out one night with a buddy. Nice bass boat, brand new. He's proud of that rascal. His catfish. Don't y'all spill that stinking stuff in my carpet. And I heard that about half the night. I got tired of it. I reached and stuck my finger in the tub of it, and I reached and rubbed it right underneath the bill of his nose. That boy bailed over to the side of the boat, throwing up. For channel cats, use cherry mix with chicken just for fun. Now, Mac up on Lake Norman, he loves chicken, but he uses garlic. He don't use no kind of Kool-Aid flavor, and he catches the little ones and big ones.
Peter's actually got a video of him fishing with him. And if I remember right in that video,
It's
he
about
outfished
time.
He
Peter
outfished Dieter.
on chicken. Yeah.
It was close, but yeah.
I was like, are you
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never tried. I've heard a bunch, but I've never tried it. I just like live bait.
Yeah,
Fresh
Kentucky
bait.
cat, man. I've for years I threw brim heads.
Yeah.
Can't set through brim.
Big brim heads. Let's see. And Samantha said she outfishes you. Let you know that.
She does.
Yeah, hey, nothing wrong with that. Can't be Wampus cat. How do you like your steak?
Rare. Believe him.
He said, knock the horns off of it, wipe its tail, and throw it on a plate.
I don't eat charcoal briquettes like this weird. He broke 2 teeth off last time.
Oh, no.
Coming from a man that carries crackers on his boat.
That's right. Fillet of perch and put it on a cracker and eat it.
Yeah, yeah, right. Sardine.
I can say, man, fishing with Justin, we have a good time. We on the boat, whether he's eating raw fish or I'm burning hamburgers. We have a good time.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, guys.
Nuclear burning.
Only man
Not
I know-
nuclear burning.
I'm telling you, there was about that big we started. We got done there. Black as that computer.
Oh, no.
I said, "You gonna eat that?" Yeah. God.
Pick it up and crunch on it like a cracker. Oh,
That so good. That was funny. Us under that bridge grilling hamburgers and everybody else in their boats without tops.
Dieter did say Mac caught more fish on chicken. He said he wants to do that again with it. That was fun. I'm sure it was fun. I like to go out and do. I got a bunch of old spin cast reels and stuff like that. I like to go out and do a video with what I call grocery store baits.
Yeah.
There's chicken livers, worms, shrimp, whatever you want to try, hot dogs. Now, that's something I tried for years ago growing up that I never did catch fish on a hot dog. Never have.
No.
Never have.
Growing up, we tried a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I went to
I've
Santee.
seen my mother catch them on bubble gum.
I went to
No lie.
Santee one time on a just out of the whim trip. I was about 17 years old. Me and a couple buddies
Yeah.
left at about 3 o'clock after school. Drove down there in a old SUV I had. Didn't have any bait. And we stopped at the grocery store and bought mullet.
Yeah.
Everything was
Oh,
closed.
mullet's good bait.
And caught fish on them in the rediversions now down
Right.
in St. Stephen's. Back
Oh,
when you could
okay.
catch fish on the bank down there.
Let's see. Tiger Muskie said they have flatheads in New Mexico. Yep. Seen old Chris Flores catches a bunch of them down there in New Mexico.
And them creeks.
Yeah, and creeks.
Oh, that's the craziest thing I ever seen in my life.
Richard let me catch them. All because he knows I'm a rod hog anyway. That's what your wife said.
I love watching her catch big fish.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Anything
Man.
at all.
I've been watching something like Gavin or last night Brian catching that big fish. That makes me happy. Just they put them on my boat.
Yep. Mark Turner said, hi, Richie. If he wants some real steak wampus, Samantha Richard, no choice because he had a boss. Let's see. Tried hot dogs, never get anything. Nope, I never did get anything on there. Dennis Miller, what's up, guy from Washington State? Come on in North Carolina with us. Everybody don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you don't mind. We got 23 people in chat tonight. I didn't see what Justin said to your wife. Had no choice because you was the boss. She said, yep, that's right. Deer liver, deer hearts, chicken work great for channels. I can see that. Channels like a bloody bait. They do. That I think that's why we had so much fun with them old stink baits, old blood baits. They'd wear it out.
I think channels got alarms, sporks, and knives that they cut the bait up with. Because I've had 2-pound channels eat crappie big as your hand. I swear to God, I think they cut them up and eat them.
I'm like you, I've had 2-pound, 3-pound channels take brim head. I don't see how to get it in their mouth. And they must dislocate their bottom jaw like a snake. Let's see. Mr. Gadget, a sharp knife when you cut into those hot dogs. There's a big population of mullet in Santee. You can't keep the little fish of it, though. Mullet.
Yeah.
Mullet in Santee?
Yeah, striping mullet. I hit one with the boat about 2 years ago. Looked like it weighed 20 pounds.
Really?
It used to go out of Hills Landing, take a right, and there's a water treatment plant down there with a discharge. We go down there with treble hooks and throw it in and snag them. Big striping.
Make good cut
Oh,
bait.
they stink. God, they stink.
Oh yeah, that's a nasty fish. Does Richard have his own personal key to Papa Doc's gate?
I hope the best for them. I really do.
Yeah. Isn't it almost time? Is it time? Oh yeah, it's past time, guys. I can't believe you let us get past that. Well, I didn't wipe Jim Clark's name off of this. I ain't gonna get up and find a pin for it. So if it hits on Jim Clark, that's actually gonna be T-Med. He joined the wheel last week. Let me pull everybody up. Sorry about this. I should have had it up. I wasn't watching the time. Turn the volume down. And we're gonna do a spin and see who all's in here. God, son of a gun. Twerking monkey. Twerking monkey. You just hit the daggum prize wheel. All right, guys and gals. Y'all can't see the name. The white one is Jim Clark. His name ain't been, we needed to take his name off. I didn't get it erased for tonight. T-Med will be in that spot from now on until he tells us different. And if anybody wants to join in on this prize wheel, please let me know. Send me a message or whatever. Or if anybody wants off of the prize wheel, please let me know that also. We got quite a few. Combat Carl, appreciate you coming in tonight. All right, twerking monkey, here we go. Who is that? That's Christian. That is just a tip. He's in here tonight. All right. I knew I seen him in here, didn't I? Just a tip fishing.
Did he win something from BD last week?
Well, maybe just a tip ain't in here. If you don't mind, Big Nasty, let Just a Tip know, or I'll give him a call. He needs to get in contact with Twerking Monkey. Twerking Monkey, email me or message me. KMB, you can do that. Message me y'all's address, and I will get it to Just a Tip Fishing, and he will get that prize out to you.
Congratulations, Pops.
Yep, congratulations, buddy. I hope you're feeling better. Let's see. Combat Carl's in. Individual. Let's see. Woo Pops. I just bought a truck today and getting a boat. I'm getting a boat and hat. Well, good. You'll enjoy that boat. Big Nasty's going to let him know. Appreciate that, Big Nasty. All right, guys. Y'all got any more questions for these guys right here on what's going on? Or so do you think the channels and spawn earlier or the flathead spawn before the blues? Or I've heard they spawn before and I've heard they spawn after.
A lot of people say that the flatheads spawn before blues, but I disagree with that. I feel like flatheads spawn after the blues.
I know last year I caught my flathead May the 20th. Still beautiful, not a mark on him or her. I think it was male because it was long. But still, the males usually get beat up pretty quick. Didn't have a mark on him on May the 20th. June the 10th is when I caught that 44-pound blue. She was beat up and spawned out. Her belly was just flat and flabby. She probably a 50-pound fish, but she was 44 pounds. But she was spawned out. So I'm like you. If it was before the blues, then he would have been beat up because he was 34 pounds. He was a spawner.
Yeah, it's usually on Lake Wiley, anyways. It's usually around the first, second week of June when I see a slower bite for flatheads. That's for me now. Now that could not be the case for everybody else, but for me, that's the case.
Let's see.
Yeah,
PD.
Peter's on it.
What did Dieter say?
He said, flathead spawn last. That's the final answer.
Final answer. All right. You the man, Dieter. And guys and gals, I appreciate all of you jumping on there when I was asking all the Patriot questions. I appreciate everybody jumping in and answering. I just throwing up a little trivia on Memorial Day, and I appreciate you joining in with us. PD says, spin one more time. He's got a wooden crappie to give away, guys.
They're nice.
All right, I appreciate it, PD. Tell Richard he should use his boat so I can go fishing. That would be Mark.
He knows.
What's up, Joe Buck? Appreciate you joining in. He said you know where it's at, but he's got the key hidden. You're going to have to.
He's got a key to it.
Oh, he's got a key to it? So there ain't no excuse then, are they? Let's see. Let's get this here. All right, PD. We're going to get her going here. Maurice Casson. Get a hold of PD. PD, get a hold of Maurice. And you won a prize from PD Fisherman. I appreciate you, PD, and congratulations, Maurice. Appreciate you coming in and joining us in chat tonight. And congratulations on your win. PD, I appreciate that, buddy. Let's see. Yeah, he is.
He's got a weird thing with eels, but he's a pretty good dude.
Y'all was talking
I
about.
agree with that.
Yeah. Glenn said, y'all was talking about cat beds a while ago. Is that the holes I see on the bottom with my side scan? I would say probably. My graph, I can't see them. But now Dieter's marked them on Wiley. I'm sure you found them on Wiley before, hadn't you?
I feel like I have seen several areas on Wiley where you can see where they're in there fanning them beds on Wiley.
Was it, the ones you found was in deep water?
You see them best
Me and him
on,
found them, and they were in deep water. You
Yeah.
can tell they've been fanning them.
you see them best on side image.
Okay.
You can kind of see them on down scan.
Right. Dieter, any hint on where you found or how deep you found them? You ain't got to give away your hole. Those asteroid craters. Man, Dieter.
We kind of stayed. I mean, we rode over them last night.
Right.
We kind of stayed away from them. I mean, I feel I don't want to fish on them. You know
All
what
right,
I'm saying?
KB, you do that.
I don't want to run them off the beds.
Exactly right, Dieter. I mean, I feel the same way. I won't fish a fish on a bed. Never have, never will. I think that you can probably use that as kind of a signpost as to setting up away from them areas and maybe catch them transitioning.
And see, those are the kind of areas I target, as in right now for this time of year for flatheads. I look for things like that for flatheads in the whole month of May. Now, come June, I'll switch it up a little bit, but the whole month of May, I'm actually targeting areas like that.
Blue spawning areas. Okay. Done noodle before, and we found more beds in the sides and the backs.
I target a lot of rocks. That's what I fish.
You're exactly right, Dieter. That's an ethical issue with me too. Even when I bass fish tournaments during the spawn, I wouldn't fish them. A lot of guys, they had guys that head straight for the bedding areas, pitching jigs and stuff into them beds, and I couldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Catch and release. I mean, you're right as far as commercial fishing. I just never, even if you release that fish in the same area that you caught it, who knows what kind of stress you just put on that fish? Is she going to even go back to that bed to finish laying eggs? Or if you caught that big male off the nest, time he gets back to the nest, and Brim might have done wore all the daggum fry or the eggs out of there.
See, here's the reason I target areas like that is, here's how I look at it. If they're in there laying eggs, what comes in there and eats them eggs? I mean, It's going to be your scale fish are coming there eating them eggs.
Yep.
If them scale fish are coming in there, what's coming in there? Your bigger fish are going to follow.
Yep.
So that's kind of why I target them areas.
Right. Let's see.
Maybe I should have set up on the outside of those last night on that structure.
People say I'm crazy for fishing
Now
that
that you
way,
said
but that's how I've done it, and I've been fairly successful with it.
Good night, John. Appreciate you jumping in here, buddy. Mark said, hit them in the head with the bait. That'll make them take it.
So Mark, he actually fished a full season with Southeastern Catfish Club with me for the first time because he wanted to get in there and he wanted to learn a few things. And there was quite a few, 25, 30 pounds. We hit him right on the head with the bait. It wasn't 15 minutes was really mean.
Really?
You talking about luck? That's getting lucky.
You can see your bait hit him.
No, we couldn't see the bait hit him. I'm saying we
Right.
would mark that fish, and I tell Mark we're putting that fish in the boat. And Mark said, "There ain't no way." Somehow we got lucky. We'd bring it in, as I called it.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Justin Fishing Fish said he'd fish from his bed if it was close enough to the water.
I was fishing from my bed on the pontoon last night.
He said he wants to hear something from the real fisherman and tell Richard to sit back and shut up. Justin, you crazy, Maurice. Let's
He
see.
fishes more than anybody around. He does. Yeah, he says fishing. I don't call it fishing if you don't. I mean, you got to catch fish to call it fishing.
Oh, God, y'all. I swear to God.
Nader said we were going to make him go film some bedding areas tomorrow. So much for sleeping in. There you go. That ought to make a good video right there.
Yeah.
That ought to make good video.
It's tough fishing, but I'm telling you, the wife, if she's still on here, she'll tell you on sonar, I'm looking for them areas, and we honestly catch our biggest flatheads in them areas. Like she can vouch for that. Like she'll even watch the sonar too, and she's like, "Ooh, I like this. Let's fish here," and we catch our biggest flatheads in them areas.
All right. They want to hear you talk some more.
Well, they won't hear me talk about it.
I'm going to ask you, I'll ask the question. Live or cut for flatheads?
I'm a live dude. I mean, I've always liked live bait for flatheads. I mean, me and Richard caught those flatheads all season on cut bait, but I just like live. I mean, my biggest flat came off a 12-inch crappie live. I just
That's
always,
a big crappie.
Yeah, it weighed about a pound and 2 or 3 ounces.
But a 10-pound flathead could take that crappie.
Yeah. I mean, I caught him under the trussel, sitting there, hooked him on the hook, threw him right back in the trussel. Big flat took off of him. I just like live bait.
So you caught the crappie, put it right back out on the bottom, and the flathead took it.
Yeah.
In the same area.
Within about 10 minutes.
Within 10 minutes.
Yeah. Dude that was fishing with me said, "What are you going to do with that? My grandpa will kill you for putting that on there."
That'd make a sandwich with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, me and Richard, I had some in that tournament that weighed 2 pounds, big crappie. We used them for bait.
Hey.
That's my favorite go-to flathead baits, live crappie. I like it.
What does that Jeff say? Bait ain't never too big.
No.
That's what he says.
That rascal throws some big old baits, man.
Jeff Manning will throw the biggest baits I ever seen.
Now, last night, I was throwing them huge baits, and that big fish come off a shad about 1 finger.
That's the way.
Really?
Yes, sir. I was throwing pound baits, catching dinks.
Well, you know, that rainy day down there where I caught that 35-pound blue, I've been throwing that big old shad I got from you, that you'd got from him, that got from Jamie K. I was throwing them big shad all day long, never got a pickup, put a brim head on there about like that, and that fish is bam. Buried it.
So I like big live baits. For flatheads.
Yeah, that crappie would have been a sandwich just as easy.
Yeah, it would have.
Favorite baits. Samantha must be back. She said, "Hey, Jim, Richard being mean to me."
It's all
KB.
fun and
Yeah.
games. I seen you come at me, so I had to come at you. I was just giving you a hard time.
Dieter said he shot a video today, frozen crappie versus fresh live brim. Well, I know who won that one. Well, I ain't going to say that. I ain't no telling, man. Like you said, if you hit them on the head, they going to take it.
I'm telling you, crappie.
I'm still on the edge for brim. I mean, I've recently started catching fish on brim, but up to about 3 weeks ago, I would took the frozen crappie over the brim.
Kevin Davis, the owner of Black's Camp, caught a 102-pound blue off a piece of mullet the size of your thumb. Well, Jeff Manning caught that 82-pounder with a little bitty piece of perch and wasn't even going to fish, just testing his boat and decided to throw a rod out. Said he got it in his stand, the bait couldn't even hit the bottom when it took off.
Oh, my biggest blue come off half a blue herring. It was about that big.
It don't take big baits. The wife, she gets on to me all the time for throwing too big of baits. I like throwing big baits.
That's what Brian fussed.
She gets on to me about it.
Big bait. I just like big bait. Big bait, big fish.
Yeah. Don't like, Combat said he don't like frozen bait. And I'm going to tell you guys, really a lot of that depends on how you put your bait up. 8 fish total, 5 came on frozen crappie. There you go.
There's your sign.
There's your story. Junior Proctor's in the house. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. We've had a pretty decent show. Mark said he's been asking you to use brim.
I don't like it. He knows it.
I guess brim is not as a bloody a fish as a lot of other fish. And I think that's why it turns a lot of people off. Now, when I cut a brim, and I might be different, but like this is the head and this is the body. Y'all see, I cut from here and I cut at an angle. I try to keep some of that gut pocket in that head. I think there's a lot of scent in there. I'll also, on a flapper bait, a lot of people cut the bone out. Why? That is the bloodiest, most scented piece of that fish.
I've heard tales of people saying the most scent's in the tail of the fish. Now, I don't see that,
but there's a gland in it.
People tell me all the time, why are you not, like, I'll have a cupboard slap full of tails, and they'll say, why are you not using them? That's where the best scent comes from the fish. I've never really had any luck using the tails.
I don't use shell crackers for bait at all.
Now, the bone, that's a good question about the bone.
Yeah, think about it. You lay that fillet up there, what's all that blood's coming straight out of that backbone and all that right there. It's bleeding its tail off. And what I do, everybody fillets from the tail to the head. I fillet opposite. So when that fish is laying in the current, the flappers are wide open.
All right.
That gives you a bigger profile. Even with small baits, that gives you a bigger profile. Right. And that water's just swirling around that backbone.
I never cut one. That's a good idea.
With some perch, not brim.
Yeah, caught a lot of big on. Yeah. Keeping that gut is the way to go. PD eel, Chunky Catfish said eel. I know, Chunky, you catch some good fish on them eels, buddy. I like big baits, put a whole fish on there. Yep. Frozen eel. I've never used eel. I can see it working. I really can. But don't overlook, guys. Don't overlook. And being a catfisherman, I'm probably going to get scolded for what I'm getting ready to say. But old man John, 2 weeks prior to the YouTube tournament, put a monster on the bank, and the bait was channel catfish. That's what his bait was.
I've been seeing him out there the last few weeks going. I've been giving him some bait. I come in, if I got some leftover bait, I give it to him.
Yeah.
That is a dedicated fisherman right there.
Yeah, he enjoys it.
It don't specifically have to be perch, brim, bluegill, crappie. Like, here's how I look at a Arkansas blue. Them things are like a shark. If you cut it and it bleeds, they're going to take it. You're going to draw them in.
Yeah.
Them things they're just like a shark. You put something bloody in the water, they're going to come get it.
Dieter said eels are awesome flathead baits. So they love them. I can see that, man. I really can.
They fish with striper.
Yeah.
Striper with eels a lot.
Yeah, I said, especially in saltwater fish, saltwater stripers, man. Them guys throwing some big old freaking eels.
There's nowhere around. I've never even seen an eel. PD had them things.
I got some It's in the tank right now. They from Florence, South Carolina. May try them on Wiley Saturday. Oh, heck, let me shut up. I can't catch a big fish, so I wouldn't know the bait. What good bait to use can be.
Maybe he's a good angler.
Yeah.
He can go out there, he can catch the fish. I give him
Yeah, I mean, that's it, guys. And
that. He goes fishing, he catches fish.
That's all that matters for the fish in the boat.
That's it.
I'm just wearing, getting mad about little fish, but that's me.
I was actually studying the river that PD fishes. That's a tough little river to fish. Have you ever looked at little
oh
PD?
yeah.
Like I would probably be lost down there.
It looks like a jungle from the pictures I've seen.
It does, man. Like it makes so many twists and turns, and that would be a challenging place to fish.
I've never fished it, but I live beside an old guy. They used to go down there and noodle that thing. They'd come out and their arms looked like somebody took daggum 50 grit sandpaper to their arms and stuff, grabbing them catfish. You want to go? Nope. I ain't grabbing no freaking turtles. It's no fun if Patriot won't ask questions. What? Why you coming at me like that for, Jim? Dieter, I ain't gonna comment on that. Dieter said kittens flap on the surface of the flathead's crazy.
What do you say, kittens?
Yeah.
My uncle. I can say it don't matter.
Kittens work.
They got a Santee and they got chicken houses. And I've heard them talk about using divvies for bait down there for flatheads.
I'll tell you, I've seen the videos. What's up, George Cunningham? I've seen the videos of them Wales catfish over in England and flathead catfish here in America eating pigeons coming around them bridges. Yeah. They will eat the crap out of pigeons. Them pigeons come down to get water and them flatheads sitting right there. And it's almost like a shark running up on they'll actually beach themselves going after them birds. So go figure. But they figured it out. I wonder how many pigeons falling off in the water before they figured that first one figured it out.
Yeah, I've heard people all kinds of stuff.
Brim is great bait in Monticello. That's coming from Junior Proctor. Blue Dog Catfishing. Yeah. Brim works good everywhere. I'm going to tell you a bait that I don't use. I've tried it and never could get nothing to hit. The day we went out, I brought a bunch of big ones from the pond behind the house, them old war mouse.
You know, that I said earlier about shell crackers, if you read on them, they put off some kind of scent to defend other fish off. I've never caught a fish on shell cracker. If you read on them,
I have not either. Or them war mouse. An old war mouse, you cut him and he stinks anyway.
Yeah.
But I think they got a gland or something. It's a defensive gland that just puts it out.
Those shell crackers. Of course, I don't even think you can use those in South Carolina anymore.
No, you can't. Not shell cracker.
Yeah. I think you can use flyers and bluegill. You can't use.
And I thought I seen a study where they was talking about outlawing using of the pumpkin seed.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I can't.
They declared it like a sport fish, like a brim and a crappie and stuff like that. That is a beautiful little old fish, though, ain't it? Let's see. Appreciate that, Dustin. KB said, well, that explains the thing about the shell crackers. Yeah,
I've never heard that. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I took a bunch to Santee. I caught a bunch up here in a pond years ago and took them to Santee and went to Hills and stayed. And we were bank fishing. I don't know if these guys here know OJ, the guy that cleans fish down there, black guy.
Yeah.
He was out there talking to us, and he said, "You'll never catch nothing on them shell crackers." And I didn't even know you couldn't use them then. And he was telling me, and I got to researching, and they have some kind of odor.
Never knew that.
Fish one.
Yep.
I don't know what it is.
That's a fish cleaning son of a gun, though, ain't he?
Son of a gun taught me to clean fish. He's bad.
That rascal, I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley and hit with a knife in your hand.
No, sir.
He'd peel you like an apple.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Best there is.
I ain't never seen nobody clean fish like that rascal.
Big natural eyes.
Yeah. And you know he's about half living. He's laying them fillets out there, boy.
Good guy, too.
Yeah.
Guy. I just like listening to him talk.
Peter said he seen a 90-pound blue at Santee puke up a what? C-O-R Comarat.
Comran?
Yep.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's like a loon, you know those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
is holding it in the bank tank until they can weigh it.
And he puked up a car.
That's crazy.
Who is it? Charlie owns Bass Shack's
Yeah.
got that picture of that 60-pound flathead with a 30-pound balloon in its mouth.
Oh, yeah, he
Going
does.
down the diversion canal.
Yep.
And they separated both fish live.
Well, you know, they won that video they had on Facebook. That flathead was floating around on the surface, had that big old turtle in his mouth.
Yeah.
Couldn't swallow that turtle. Let's see. So, yeah, there ain't no bait too dang big.
What was it? Jeff Manning?
That's Jeff Manning's
Yeah.
motto.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He's got that picture of that one with the 18-inch bite mark on it. That's amazing.
I've heard that too, Combat Carl. The drum as bait never had any luck in places that's great for other people. I've heard that drum, you would think that's a good bait. That's a big old fish. I don't think we have any in Wiley, but around our area. But you think it's many drums in the water. Now, they might eat them live, but you cut them open, they might be like in what we're talking about and put off a scent that just turns them off. You got an Instagram account?
No, I don't have Facebook or Instagram. I'm old school. I haven't been on YouTube in like 4 months. So
He's still using Morse code out of the hills up there.
I'm old timey, weirdo from the mountains.
We send smoke signals back and forth.
Yeah.
Richard might take it off tomorrow. Going to get one.
see you at 7 in the morning, Mark.
Warmouths are great. Flathead. Well, PD, man, I can't get a fish to even touch a daggum warmouth.
I'm gonna try to use carp this year.
Me too.
I've got a pond above my house that's got a bunch of
Carp's good bait.
baby carp in it. And you know, I tried bullheads last year. Never caught a fish. They say you can catch them, but I never caught a flathead on bullhead.
You know, I've heard that. I think Dieter was talking about that on one of his videos, and I've heard a couple other people that's tried bullheads on Wiley and not had any luck. We didn't get a bite that day. You brought them down here for us.
I think there's got to be a big population of them. Right. I've used them on Wiley, Baden, Mountain Island, and I mean, they'll stay alive for 20 hours and
bleed like crazy.
Yep, and shake a demon dragon to death. I mean, the whole time the rod will be doing that. But I ain't even never got a pull that.
Maybe that's why they up north they are good baits because they always staying active.
Yeah, I mean, they move. I've never caught a fish on.
Mm.
And they say you don't have to snip the fins. So I've snipped, not snipped, cut the tails, not cut the tails.
Right.
I know a lot of anglers, they would rather have carp than anything.
Yeah, that pond's got a lot of those small, overpopulated carp. I'm gonna try to use some.
KB, no, baby carp, do.
Oh.
Like that baby shark junk. I don't want to hear no baby shark. That son of a gun gets stuck in your head.
Oh.
Have heads in the creek in Tennessee, use it for flatheads around Fort Loudon.
I've used, we call them naughty heads.
Hey, Gabby Goose, the old naughty heads.
I've used naughty heads before.
And I'm sure them old creek suckers work good too.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say they use them suckers. Yeah, hey, Gabby. Justin's daughter.
And let everybody know we've been saying crappie here in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's crappie, not crappie. Crappie.
There you go. I'm glad somebody said that.
Yeah, I'm just going to put that out there. It's crappie.
I think Dieter put up a video where he was talking about people certain areas calling. Now, see, I got a Louisiana good buddy. They call them sacrilege.
Well, I got a buddy from Florida. They call them speckled perch down there.
Yep. Let's see. She's smiling. That's cool, Justin. Well, guys, we after 9 o'clock, and I enjoyed the show. I appreciate y'all coming in and joining us in the cabin.
Oh yeah, anytime.
We'll do this again. Maybe we can get a couple others to come out that's local and join us in the cabin. If not, I finally got the computer where I can run that program again, and hopefully we can get Dieter in a week or so back in since I got the computer straightened out. But with that being said, guys and gals, we do appreciate you coming in, asking a lot of questions and joining us in. Appreciate all the thumbs up. We got 30 people in here, guys. Fantastic show. We appreciate that, Chunky Cat. KB said, Wabash can't take Richard fishing, so he'd learn how to catch something.
They always
He said,
do.
please.
They always
I deal with that.
Yeah. But guys and gals, God bless you and your family. God bless America. And we'll all see you on the water. Say goodnight.
Yeah, it's all over you tonight.